The following show features episodic breakdowns of Jackass, either performed by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. For your safety, avoid listening to this podcast at all times. Hi, I'm Mikey Aaronworth.
I'm Jason Wellwood.
And I'm Chris Aaronworth.
Welcome to Jackass.
Welcome to Jackast. It's the podcast where we're on a path of destruction through every single episode of Jackass.
We are three lifelong fans of the show, reliving the belly laughs, bad ideas, and broken bones.
We are back with Jackass 4.5, the next saga.
The next saga. Okay.
The next saga.
Surprise, surprise.
I know we've been doing a lot of these, so I couldn't quite remember. Are we on part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6?
It's been a while.
Part 3, right?
It's part 3, and Jay and I, before you joined the recording studio, we're talking about the next episode, and I've been kind of busy with a couple other podcasts and editing and all this stuff. Then I, for a second, thought that I forgot to release part 3 of the podcast. And I was like, shit, because you lose track of it when you have enough. You've been doing this for as long as we have, for whatever reason we have. And I legitimately thought that we fucked up. But no, this is part 3 coming at you fast, just like life.
Guys?
Yes.
Remember what I said last week?
Yes.
What did you say last week?
I'm coming back
enlighten us
with a fact of the day, baby.
Okay, listen, I know we ask you to come back with facts of the day, but I'm canceling that. I'm canceling that this time because we have much more important things to do. And Jay, I think you probably know what I'm talking about. Chris, what happened to your hair? What am I looking at right here?
What's going on? Do we need to talk to you about this? Let's have an intervention right here, live.
We fully established last week when I said I was having a midlife crisis and I was going to bleach my hair. Did we not? Sure. Why is this a shock to you guys?
We didn't take you seriously.
Guys, every single thing I say on this thing is 100% truth, no jokes, all facts. All bad comments, all good comments, all everything. I never mess around.
No, Chris,
when I say something on here, it's going down. I don't care. These are my people here. I can't let them down.
You didn't have to reiterate no jokes. Our listener knows that you're usually not telling any jokes.
Oh, buddy boy. I carried you last episode.
The only joke involved here is the joke your barber played on you when you sat down in his chair and you walked away with blonde fucking hair.
No, it wasn't a barber.
Shady, please stand up.
It wasn't a barber.
What was it? A homeless dude?
So if you guys also notice I have a sunburn, I got trapped on a boat today, true story, in the middle of Georgian Bay, almost missed recording the podcast.
All the color bled out of your hair from being on the boat.
We hit a rock. We had to change a prop. We were stuck literally in the middle of nowhere. Could have been stuck there for days, years maybe. Who knows? Good thing I watch a lot of survival shows. Right. But and when I came out, for some reason, my face was red and my hair was white. I don't really understand what happened.
A happy accident then.
For the record, Survivor does not count as a survival show.
Oh, do you think I'm dicking around with Survivor, man? I'm watching Alone. I'm watching Naked and Afraid. The best shows in the game. And Les Stroud, Survivor Man.
I have one question to before we go off the topic of Chris's blonde hair. And by the way, if you're out there listening to us, first of all, thanks for listening. We always appreciate that.
You should check it on YouTube to see how serious I was about dyeing my hair.
You gotta throw it on YouTube to see Chris actually did dye his hair. But I have one question, Chris. Before you got your hair dyed, or as you say, got it bleached by the son of your barber, I guess. Did you sit down in the chair and say, "Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville, and I'm about to make a fool of myself"? Or what was your address?
I said, "Hi, I'm Chris Aaronworth." I said, "Hi, I'm Slim Shady."
Yeah.
And I'm an alcoholic.
There you go. Oh, so it was a meeting and everything. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
All I want to know is, does the carpet match the drapes?
That's a good question.
There's some silver down there for sure, because I'm getting a little
silver
old.
Fox.
Okay.
Hey guys.
Yeah. It depends, blonde, silver. If you're colorblind, you might think it's the same thing.
Speaking of all things south of the border, as we pick up back into Jackass 4.5, we're asking Danger Aaron, what was your worst injury filming Jackass 4? My testicles, obviously, he says. And Eric Andre pops on screen to talk about the mutilation of Aaron's balls. Everybody's getting in on the action here. He says it helped make him feel comfortable on set.
What a weird thing to say.
That's a very weird thing to say. The dick bruise, guys. When we see Aaron pull it out, and that his dick is a different color. It's incredible. Wow.
It's not just his dick, it's his balls. I'm not a scientist, but how do you get a bruise on your balls? Physiologically, I didn't know that could happen to the human body. Yeah. Far be it for me to proclaim that I know more than some people about the human body. But if you asked me whether your balls could get bruised, I would say probably not. But here he is with bruised ass balls, and it's gross as fuck. It made me want to vomit.
Yeah.
Well, before we get any further into this, like we're a little skeptical about, how much he took some punishment, and we're talking about how brutal this was. He was, Ehren McGhehey was on SteveO's podcast this past week, and they were talking about this, and they were talking about how they felt bad. They were like, man, like, geez, this was bad, yada, yada, yada. Danger Ehren actually wrote this. He wrote himself for doing this. So this was all his idea. He fully wanted to participate in it. I don't know how many of the individual sketches he wrote, but this was his choice. So now we can really fucking laugh and enjoy this. So I just want to get that in there before we talked about it any further.
I gotta say, I give him a lot of shit for the guys for like, oh, he's getting bullied and whatnot. But knowing that, okay, I gotta give him a point for that. Holy shit. Like I'm impressed, and I was totally wrong. I admit that right here. Like I will admit that, like you can only assume these things, but the fact that he had the balls to fucking write that, holy shit, man. He's definitely.
Well, he started off with the balls to write it. I don't think he finished with the balls in any way at the end of it.
All I gotta know though is when he gets a stiffy, that's gotta fucking hurt. Like it's just gotta hurt every time he gets hard.
Of course.
Oh. Dude, I think you brutalized him the most in this one, says Eric Andre. Except for when you broke his tooth and cracked his skull open. I love when he's saying this, he's just starting to crack. Like he himself cannot even get through this without laughing. And he says, and you guys broke his neck 3 times and then threw him in a hole. It's like, you forget, Aaron's been abused. It's not just the dick stunt here. It's
I forgot about the broken back thing. Like, because they show that clip again, right? When he's jumping over the ice cold water and he hits the back of his neck. That looks fucking awful.
Yeah, and man, again, props to Ehren for stepping up and doing that. Like, he's fucking crazy. I'm blown away by that. But speaking of being blown away, yes, this was leading somewhere after all. A deleted Ehren stunt from the movie.
How did this not make the movie?
This
is maybe the best one.
Oh, I agree. I loved this. This is the bowling ball cup test. So yeah, he took even more punishment than we saw in our first go. This is a 16-pound bowling ball, the heaviest one you're allowed to use. And Missy is here to bowl some strikes. Chris, your thoughts on Missy? Because I always have to ask.
You know what? She's had this like sexy Sarah Palin vibe going on, don't you think?
even with her Maureen Ponderosa dead ass tooth.
I don't care, man. I was feeling it, man. I would let her bowl my balls any day.
Okay, all right.
I'm serious. I don't know. I was turned on.
She had that like hyper Christian thing going about her.
I know,
like,
I love it.
I think
she votes for Trump.
She absolutely votes for Trump.
It's just, she's right up my alley,
She's the type of person, not only does she vote for Trump, but she doesn't hide it either. She doesn't even think there's a reason to hide it. She's
Southern and proudful. She knows her ways around balls, and she looks like Sarah Palin in like an old kind of beat down way that I could actually maybe attract. So it was right up my alley. I can't lie.
Someone like Missy Parkin in whatever deep southern state that she's from is not going to be okay with your, and I'm quoting her when I say this, queer haircut. She's not going to date someone who bleached his hair blonde. No, you're done.
I don't know. I think they'd be a perfect
contrary
match,
to public opinion, I didn't do it because it's Pride Month. Shout out to the Pride Month. I really appreciate that. Yada yada.
Thick here, right.
I don't know why I said yada yada. That sounded terrible.
Yada.
That was really bad. I didn't mean to do that. But if you've ever looked in some of the trailer parks, there's a lot of people that look like Eminem.
That's true.
And I think it would have worked really well. And I think they kind of like that, a girl like that knows how to manhandle a man would like, a little sissy boy like me,
Jesus Christ. Okay.
So there we go. Chris not doing himself any favors with that speech.
I'm trying to back out of this and get myself deeper and deeper, boys. Thanks for bringing it up, Mike. Appreciate it.
What did I do?
Gutter ball right there. Fuck. I don't know. You didn't dye my hair. You didn't tell me to not dye my hair. That's what happened.
Missy says she's going to hit that one way or another, referencing Aaron's nutsack, of course. Aaron doesn't look nervous at all. Come on. Yeah, no, he's fucking pissing himself sitting there. Spread eagle.
100%.
Down the bowling lane like a church boy at the end of a pew. Jesus Christ almighty. Here we go. Legs are shaking. Ball's coming at him. Oh my God. Aaron's freaking out. He doesn't know what to do. He knows he can't jump out at this point. It's too late, Aaron, to back out. First hit was on the leg, says Knoxville. It's kind of like half nutsack, half leg, inner thigh. And it's a bit of a deflection, so it goes off the leg into the sack. And the pain is so bad, says Aaron, that it's in his butthole. Again with the butthole pain. This is a running thread on 4.5.
Isn't
Did I call it or what? We talk about all the things I called.
Yeah, that's
I called
true.
the butthole pain.
Can I ask you guys, if I told you that he was getting the cup test with someone taking a slap shot from where, like the hash marks of the blue line or whatever, someone doing a windmill underhand pitch, or someone with a bowling ball, like the only one of those I know that I could do on the nose, maybe in my first or second try, is bowling, and I'm not even a good bowler. How the fuck does she miss this the first time? That's crazy to me. Missy Parkin not coming up to play.
She didn't miss it. Jeff and Knoxville were pulling the old stunt. The first one should have counted. You know, they said,
so?
"Oh, sorry, they said it hit you in the leg first."
Yeah, well,
I don't care. It's a fucking 16-pound bowling ball right to the fucking scrotum. Like, I don't care if it ricochets off your fat of your inside of your thigh a little bit. Like, they were having some fun and they wanted to keep this going. Yeah. She, you know, and you know what? She's a great bowler. I've watched her on TV plenty of times. I watched her on Pornhub. I mean, TV, and TV, she could clearly hit the balls down in one strike.
I'm so surprised that he agreed to do this again, because that looked fucking atrocious. Yeah. Atrocious.
Well, all I can say is that bowling ball is about to make love to his nutsack, and it does. It's a direct hit on the second one, and you got to give him some applause. Stand up for this guy. He fucking earned it. Came back for round two. That takes us out of this segment, and
Missy Parkins is going to have to say so many Hail Marys to get the Lord's forgiveness after this one. Like, you can tell that's like you can't do that. Not where she's from. You can't.
Yes, you can, Mikey. You can. John 3:16. Revenge is set as it comes.
That's a wild mishmash of nothing that makes any sense. But let's say you're right. Let's go with that.
Right? Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say some bullshit like revenge is a dish best served cold, or which probably would have been.
I should have.
No, guys, what? Revenge is a dick best served bold.
All right. Like bold isn't, okay, I got you. Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch, but I'll take it. I'll take it. And you know what else I'll take? I'll take Poopies on top of a ladder with a sledgehammer any fucking day. I love the intro to this. I'm Poopies, and I'll show me, he says.
That's so funny.
Yeah, you already know
it's the greatest thing ever.
You already know what's going to happen. He's going to knock that ladder right out from underneath himself and down to the ground. And that's all you need. And I love his comment here, because when he's laying on the ground, he calls it, "Dude, that was a real knocker, bro."
He's such a child.
That's it.
He's such a child.
Yeah.
It's like, you're right. He's looking up as though he fell off the monkey bars, and his dad's like, "I told you not to hang upside down." He's like, "That was a real knocker. Oh, my tooth hurts real bad. It's numb. I think my tooth."
Yeah.
Like, how does he have that childish energy? Yeah, let's we get some ice cream after. Yeah. If my tooth's numb, then I won't feel the ice cream. I can bite right into it. It's like,
he kind of sounds like the guy in the Adam Sandler movies. The guy on the couch who was like smoking the weed with them. Maybe Pineapple Express. Maybe it was one of those ones.
You're talking about
no, it wasn't Pineapple Express.
Same dude who's,
he had like he had the African guy, like the village guy. What movie is that, Jay?
I thought you were talking about what's his name from, like, initially when you said the guy getting high on the couch. I immediately thought of the dude from Mama's or Grandma's Boy, the lead in that movie.
Yeah, I think it's the same kind of guy, but. Oh, no, it is Grandma's Boy.
You know what I'm talking about.
That's right? Definitely who it is. The guy in Grandma's Boy. That's exactly what I was thinking.
All right, so what about him? What was your point?
That's how Poopy sounded.
Okay.
But guys,
that was
I digress.
Okay, yep. Mm-hmm.
I digress because, I missed the point there. But the main thing is, out of every single thing in Jackass 4.5, this is the biggest robbery of not making the actual movie. It's fucking 5 to 10 seconds of pure amazingness. The punchline, the fucking way they call it, the slam he takes, every single thing about it. How could they not squeeze that into an hour and a half to 2 hour movie? It's criminal.
It's, especially because they were seldom, but there were a few interstitials. So, like, just toss one in there, like, I agree. I think it could have worked. And just the image of him after he smacks his face on the ground, talking to Johnny, looking up at him as though Johnny could like kiss his boo-boo better, like just really like embodying that childlike thing. Everything about this was fantastic, and it was short. And as much as I say like, oh, I would have loved more of it, I don't know what more I could have gotten out of it. So I'm just happy we got what we got.
You know what we could have gotten? Him doing it from the second step. then the third step,
Oh,
then the fourth step, then the fifth step. But like, it's just like, even if you don't have that, how did you not throw this in?
Yeah.
Like, it was such a great concept. I really wish it was in the movie, to be honest.
I totally
and
agree.
Poopies talked about it when he was on SteveO's podcast as well. He's like, man, I really fucked myself up for something that didn't even make the movie. So he talked about this I'll Show You sketch on the podcast before the movie came out, and I was so excited to see it, and it did not let down,
Oh, man,
in my
it's
opinion,
great.
at least.
It's great.
It's great. And we're heading over to the Paramount backlot now. We shot some famous movies here. And I got to say, the first thought I had when I saw the set they're on is, hey, they fucking shot Seinfeld here. Now, I don't know if they shot Seinfeld where they're filming this sketch, but the Paramount lot, I did look it up. Seinfeld shot there. Fun fact of the day. Fuck you, Chris. This is Zach Sashimi.
That was my fun fact, but you guys so rudely interrupted.
Yeah, right. So they're going to put raw sushi. I guess sushi's always raw, so fuck me. But they're going to put the sushi into all the crevices, nooks, crannies, and holes they can find on Zach. And I loved when they busted out the big roll of saran wrap because I didn't see that coming. But now it's time to make the big boy sprint, do jumping jacks, all that shit, get into shape, whip him up. And once we unwrap him, he's going to be the sweatiest boy ever. And I think they were hoping that the body heat would cook the fish a little bit. At least I think that was the intention. I'm not sure.
I can't imagine they're actually expecting. Like, Jay, what the fuck are you talking about? It's going to get hot enough to cook the sushi?
It's like
There's
a
no
Dutch
way.
oven.
There's no way.
human
I
Dutch
think they
oven.
were thinking that. They kind of mentioned, they alluded to it.
How could
Probably
your
hot as
body
fuck
heat?
out there.
They call him Jackass, not Einstein. Let's be honest.
You know what? If that's what they were thinking, I don't know. Maybe I know you can cook an egg on the hood of a car or something like that, but like the under tit of a fat guy can't cook a sashimi. Like that's
Well, chefs consider cooking like also curing is one of the same things, and you cure with a lot of salt.
that's true.
And he was going to be sweating profusely.
That's true.
And curing. Dude, this was brutal for me.
Dude, I
This
saw
is awful.
a couple grill marks. That's all I'm saying. There were grill marks on that fish. And,
It was just like a little under tit grill mark. That's amazing, Jay.
so after the sushi is thoroughly sweated on, everybody digs in, and Rachel goes fucking first.
Right for it.
She says, I've had worse things than this. So there you go, a real trooper. Then Pontius, who starts gagging and puking immediately. And then Zach even gets in, like he's eating his own juices at this point. I don't know if that's cannibalism or something. There's probably some work around there.
Here's the thing.
What?
He's not even eating his own fish. He's gagging at the thought of other people eating things off of him. It's like the poor fucking guy. Why does he find it grosser than anyone? He's vomiting more than anybody.
Oh, yeah,
He's gagging all the time.
There was one person that absolutely loved the sketch. Do you know who it is?
No, who?
Preston Lacey. Preston is in the corner of the background with the biggest fucking
that's amazing.
shit-eating grin on
That's
his
amazing.
face because he realized if the new big guy didn't come to town, this was going to be him.
There you go.
And he got to sit back and watch for once and watch another guy deal with the embarrassment of the situation. And he fucking loved it. Go back and watch it, and you will notice him in the top left corner just smiling cheek to cheek.
That's
and I love
amazing.
that. That's the only thing that kept me from throwing up this whole time.
Dude, I didn't notice that, but I love that little piece, like a passing of the torch. Look, Preston takes his licks in this. Holy shit! Like he deserves
Big time he
deserves
does.
one off. So that's good to see.
And it's good to see him get to enjoy it.
Hell yeah. The thing though, going back to Jackass and like his own, like I don't know how you recover from something like this if you're Jackass, because even before anyone ate anything, they just put the sushi in him, the sashimi in him. They wrap him up in saran wrap. He works out till he gets a sweat on. And when he takes the saran wrap off, people are already gagging. How do you ever look yourself in the face after that? Like people are gagging at the fact that you have sweat and that's it. Like the poor fucking guy.
I have a question for you guys. And this is a question, or maybe even poll the audience. Who knows? What would you rather do? The sashimi that we seen here, or when Preston Lacey puts on the sweatsuit and you got to do the chug from the sweat?
Ooh, oh,
Sashimi,
fuck.
dude. It's sashimi all the way, because at least part of that is enjoyable. The sweat chug is just straight sweat. So
Yeah. Either way, you're getting sweat. At least this way, you get to cut it with some salmon.
Yeah, but fish with sweat? Ugh.
I
It's
know.
really both. Like, I don't know. I was thinking about that for a
Here's
long
a question
time.
for you. How much different do you think in a blind taste test you could tell the difference between sweat and soy sauce?
yes.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Could
end
you?
of that discussion.
I don't know.
If
Could
it was
you?
Mikey, Mikey, it depends. Was the guy sweating Asian or not?
What is the implication there?
What do you think it is?
That Asian sweat soy sauce?
Well, they eat so much soy sauce that the sweat's going to taste more like soy sauce.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
it's like curing a fish.
Dude, I fucking wish I sweat soy sauce. I'd be bottling that and selling it as like fucking, connoisseur, fucking homegrown, non-GMO soy sauce. All
Where do you
over
think it comes
Instagram,
from?
That's a good question.
Whatever.
I
I don't
think
know
soy
where it
sauce
comes from.
is.
It can't
Yeah,
be.
it's Asian sweat.
It's Asian sweat. I was thinking. You know what? You're right. I was thinking it was probably the soybean, but that doesn't make sense. So it probably is
makes zero
sweat.
sense. Yeah.
So in that case, I'd rather have the sashimi. Easy.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
Easy
'cause,
answer.
Touche.
Well, thanks for that,
Good,
guys.
thank you. I'm glad we came to a conclusion here.
Me too.
A definite answer.
So,
hey Jay, speaking
what?
of the Paramount backlot, SteveO eats out Jackass's ass.
Yeah.
He flat out goes to Jackass's Paramount backlot and goes to town at it. And once again, Jackass is throwing up when it's happening. He finds it grosser than SteveO does.
Yeah,
that was
in one end, out the other. Really.
in one end at the other. That was disgusting.
Gross.
Obviously, now we get Lance throwing up as well, and it's good to know that like. Nothing about Lance has changed. He puked 6 times. Nothing about Lance has changed except his cameras are now bigger and harder to manage while he's throwing up. Like it used to always just have these small like hand cameras. Now he's got these big massive things while he's throwing up. I feel bad for the guy. His job's gotten harder for him.
Yeah, he's that's never going to change. So I hope they keep him as the camera guy, even like, when the torch is passed. I just hope he's on set. I hope he's a part of it. But I got to say, guys, this was a main course of a stunt, but how about some dessert? Anybody for dessert? Because 2 days later...
2 days later, maybe?
Yeah. Zach's finding sashimi in places he didn't even know existed on his own body. And
Chris is feeling it.
yeah. Chris, this podcast's Lance Bangs in full
Chris
effect
is
here.
absolutely this
Yeah,
podcast
he is.
Lance Bangs.
And I don't know how we
Chris-
can make that.
episode.
Chris, you know what? I don't know if it may be the blonde hair that makes your skin look even more red. I'm not sure if it's
No,
more
I
of a
literally
contrast.
got stuck on a boat today. That wasn't even a joke. the bleaching was, but I was literally almost stranded today. I honestly felt really cool, but yeah, no, that's
Hey Chris, how about
I'm
this?
definitely the Lance Bangs.
You're stuck on a boat and the only food and then you're stuck there for 2 days. It's hot and sweaty and you're there with Jackass and you realize that he's got some skin sashimi. Do you eat it to survive or do you just take your chances with the
No,
elements?
you know what
I
I
think
do?
you
Because
do.
I like a nice fatty ribeye steak. I'm taking his fucking bitch ass out and fucking carving him up. Like, that's a way better fucking solution than
Fair,
eating the
fair.
sashimi.
That's fair. Do you guys think he ate the sashimi? Do you think he found it late at night and he's like, well, fuck it, I'll just Chris. Nothing makes me happier than Chris. His head is in his hands right now. He's saying one. Hey, Chris, what would the worst sashimi that is stuck in the fold of someone for 2 days? Which one would be salmon or tuna?
Unagi.
Is that the eel?
Yeah.
It's already
Actually, no, that's cooked. That's cooked.
true.
Still.
Ika.
Okay.
Because it'll get extra slippery or...
Oh, there you go. Slip right down that gullet.
Hey, guys, we gotta move on. I'm not even joking, man. It's fucking gross. Like, my eyeballs are watering.
I'm so happy right now. This is great. Chris, thank you for keeping your headphones in because usually you bail.
I know. I'm feeling like playing the game today, but I can't. Honestly, if we
Okay,
don't move on now,
we'll
I'm
move
going to
on.
stop the next time.
We'll move on.
This is
We'll
fucking
move on.
pushing the pace.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. Now that Chris is sweating, you want to do a quick taste test, see if it's soy sauce like salty.
Well, look, soy sauce comes from sweat. Chris said that, so it's not.
He did
Dude,
say
I just
that.
thought the best. Said who would make the best? So if that premise we just came up with is true,
Yeah,
who would make the best soy sauce?
like ethnicity wise.
No, like if it is Asian people sweat, like we just proved is true. Who would make the best soy sauce?
You mean that?
Sumo wrestlers, obviously.
All right. I don't even know where this podcast
Why?
has gone.
Because they sweat a lot and they're bigger and they're like heftier.
True.
How did that not land? I thought that was a good
It's
one.
all right.
I think you still got puke on your brain.
Yeah. Listen, guys,
man.
I think we should move on to the next one because much like
Please, can we?
it's getting a little old, much like our friend Irving Zissman, who needs a caretaker because Rachel has stuff to do. Can you take care of my grandpa? They've hired someone to look after him for a little while. Her name's Alex. The one thing we got to make sure Irving isn't doing while we're away from Irving is smoking. He can't smoke. Make sure Irving does not smoke. Now, shortly after Rachel leaves, Irving asks for a coffee. Go get me a coffee. And I didn't see this next part coming, but goddamn it, I was laughing so fucking hard. Just it's like out of a fucking cartoon or something. This is ridiculous. She goes to get the coffee. She comes back and Irving's in a wheelchair, keep in mind, on top of the bus stop. No explanation how he fucking got up there. But you know what he's going to do up there now that he's up there. He's a clever old man. He's played his cards right. He pulls out a cigarette and starts lighting up. And it just goes sideways, guys. He starts on fire. Like, he's on fire. An old man, an 80-year-old man on fire on top of a bus stop. There's no one else around. Poor fucking Alex is just panicking here. He falls on his back. He's almost fallen off this fucking thing. And as he's on his back, he's asking her, hey, do you have any weed? This guy's fucking, he's nuts. He,
you know what's funny about this one? Like it was fun to watch.
Nothing.
Well, the fact that he ends up on top of the bus stop is funny.
It's stupid.
But they keep trying to one up, and it doesn't go anywhere. And I'm finding in Jackass 4.5, and this is probably why these stunts didn't make the final movie, Jackass Forever, is that they struggle with finding a button for their pranks, like a moment to be like, this is what we're going out on. This is the thing that makes this funny enough. Like Rachel walking into the furniture store and being like, oh, he does this all the time after he gets like shot up into the ceiling. Like that type of shit is really, really funny. And it surprises me that they struggled with this because, Jay, will you agree that like the person going away and coming back to seeing a guy in a wheelchair on top of a bus stop, that is so Eric Andre, right? Like that's Eric Andre to a T.
Man, it is. And I'm glad you brought all of this up because, Mikey, you're so right. I'm with you on when he got on top of the bus stop, that was the peak. And, you know, I was hoping what was going to happen is he was just going to start smoking and then it was going to be classic Knoxville banter and just, you know, taking the piss out of her while she's down there unable to do anything about it. I don't think I needed the fire and the falling off and all that shit.
Same.
You know? The premise was
guys,
good.
I'm the exact opposite. Where, like, if that's what Eric Andre's show is, that's why I wouldn't like Eric Andre's show. There's nobody in their right fucking mind that gets hired for a job, especially with today's standards with pranks and the way the internet is, and sees some old guy who you have to be carting around somehow is on top of unexplained on top of a bus station. I couldn't get up on one of those. Like like there's no one that's falling for that. It's fucking dumb. It's over the top. That's the way I look at it. And everything else from that is just like, if something escalated where it happened that way, it might be a bit different. But to me, it's just like, if I was in that situation, like a lot of these pranks I would fall for. This, I would just be like, this is ridiculous. Maybe I'll play along for the cameras or something like that. But yeah, like it's so over the top. There's no fucking way he would get up there. Like there's no way you could see that and be like, this might, like I would think this is a setup for sure.
Oh yeah, you'd be tipped off pretty easily, I think.
Yeah, I think there's 1,000 reasons why this one didn't make the final show. Ultimately, I didn't like it. I think that there almost could have been something there. The initial shock of seeing him on a bus stop did make me laugh, but then it just seemed like they almost fluked into that because they didn't know that would have been enough for the prank to be what it is, and they kept trying to one-up it, and that didn't really work for me.
Yeah, I don't think there's much more we can say about this one, to be honest with you. It, like I said, it peaked and then it kind of fell flat at the end. But I did like when he was coming down, though, and he hit his head on the lamppost. That made me chuckle a little bit. It was pretty funny.
A little slapstick never hurt anyone.
Slapstick. But this next one, you got to slap that white paint right all over Zach's naked body because Jeff Tremaine's he's fucking having a great time. He's like a dude it's his day off from work and he's painting the fence in his backyard. He's having a great fucking time. Couple beers in him, you know. They're just painting Zach as white as they can, getting in all the folds. And there's a little bit here that I liked. I think you guys will agree because you could probably relate where they go back to the interview. They cut away with Jackass. And he says, I wasn't allowed to watch Jackass at a Christian household, so I had to sneak it. Like, he used to watch Jackass like I used to watch softcore cable porno. You always have a channel on the last channel button ready to go in case of emergency.
Last channels, you got to do it.
So I like that. I like that little aside there. But
my favorite moment of Jackass's interview before they went to the actual stunt of this one was when Zach says Jeff loves painting me, and you're like, what does that mean? And then it shows like you say, Jay, it's like a guy on his day off painting the fence or something. That's not what it is to me. Jeff, he's looking at Jackass like he's like a father bathing his newborn, like a father who's had a drug problem, was in a gang, got back from prison, and then looks into the eyes of his sweet child, and it awakens something in him that he never thought he had, a sense of empathy, purpose in life. And then he obviously makes his friend go dive headfirst into a bunch of his buddies, but like whatever. That moment was so like intimate between the two of them that it actually made me like, it made me like, I found myself actually feeling like, but then realized how fucking absurd it was when I was looking at him. Like, clearly that's not sentimental. It's more mental than senta. Yeah. And I was happy I saw that, and I was happy that he added that to it.
This is
speaking of senta,
yep.
I think we shouldn't, whatever senta is, I think we shouldn't overlook the fact that there was I don't know. It seemed like a good idea in my head again. Whatever. Apparently they dyed my brain as well. But what I loved, and I don't want to overlook, is the prank on top of the prank, how they switched the tags in Tremaine's jersey. So they gave him what's supposed to be a double XL or an XL jersey, and it was actually a small. Because to me, like I said, midlife crisis. I'm at that age right now. I'm at that weight right now. If somebody switched my tags, it would really fuck my head up big time. I would definitely become PTSD, post-traumatic stress Chris, not PTSD, but I don't think I could handle something like that. And it's such a subtle little nod on top of a prank. This is why I love Jackass. These little small things that get overlooked sometimes. And I wanted to draw attention to that because it's just, that would fuck with somebody's head. Like, man, fuck, I really put on some pounds. The whole rest of the day, he's tripping out.
Yeah. I almost forgot about that, but you're right. That was a great addition to it.
Well, boys, just like when my dad used to paint me with latex paint in the backyard, he always told me to keep your eye on the ball. And I think this is one ball that would be pretty hard to lose track of. Yes, we're hitting the baseball diamond, and our friend Zach is painted up like a big baseball. I love this outfit. This was just I'm glad they put the little stitches on him and everything. It was beautiful. Now he's tied to a truck, and let me just set this up real quick because he does mention they were going to do like a winch system and they couldn't get it working. So he's just tied to the back of a truck that's going to take off, pull him through the baseball diamond, and we're going to see if we can hit a fucking home run. I love that everyone's in uniform here. They look snazzy. Like they got custom uniforms just for this sketch, which was really cool. All I want to know though is before they, hit the gas pedal, is who's gonna fucking catch him. And of course we've got Wee Man in Knoxville there, umpire.
Of course it's Wee Man.
Of course it has to be him. A great sketch. I like the setup on this one. The implementation, it was funny to watch, short and sweet. What'd you guys think of it?
I liked it, man. It's kind of weird though that they put so much. Chris just broke his whole house, I think. I don't know what happened there. I think here's the thing. Okay, I'll say this as he goes to get ready to clean, and then I'll give my thoughts on this sketch. Chris has been thinking he's so sly because he found the mute button on his microphone.
I got to smoke my hookah. I said that last episode.
He's been smoking his hookah this whole time, which is great when you're about to tell a joke and you know that even if he laughs, no one's going to hear it.
I'm doing good visuals.
Right, which people can hear. And he just muted himself.
There we
again.
go.
There he goes.
But I've been tapping in good.
I've
been going like, ha 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 ha.
Now he's.
I'm trying to be respectful. I'm trying to be respectful for you, Mike.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate.
Great audio
it,
content, by the way. Thank you. Our listeners are just eating this up.
Okay, so it wasn't the hookah that he knocked over. It was his glass, and here he goes blowing his smoke into the camera. Jay,
did you hear the hookah?
Yeah, no. I've been hearing it. this whole time.
So what do you prefer?
I prefer you don't smoke it. What are you talking about? That's obviously what I prefer.
That's not an option. Mute or no mute?
What do you prefer?
Okay,
mute or no mute?
Fine.
You have two choices.
Mute then, even though you're going to hear a click every time you unmute the microphone. But let's go with that.
What do you mean? I didn't know that. This is
Chris doesn't
Mikey,
have to edit
this is a learning
shit.
process. I'm trying to meet you on a certain level.
Uh-huh.
I like to smoke. Whatever. I like to enjoy. Now I'm sitting here. I'm more relaxed than usual. I'm not antsy to go out and have a smoke after. So I'm doing this for the fans.
We're keeping you here while we have to record a podcast and you're thinking about getting antsy and leaving.
Yeah, we'll fucking be more entertaining. Like I said, I have to carry your bitch ass.
I'm trying hard, man.
I'm dyeing my fucking hair. I'm getting sunburns on purpose for the fucking audience. What are you doing? You fucking unbuttoning another fucking button on your shirt? Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
You want another one?
Want to borrow some of this chest hair for your to cover up the blonde?
Wait till you see this fucking burn I got. You see that?
Well, our listeners don't. So let's move past the visual jokes. All kidding aside.
Yes, Chris, we know you were trapped on a boat. Would you like to say it again one more time?
No, but I'm going to mute and clean up the mess that I just made. Give me 1 second.
Okay, so I'll carry your bitch ass while you mute. Jay, what did I think about this one? I was surprised, like you said, custom jerseys. A whole batting diamond, like a baseball diamond rented out. All the Jackass crew is there. They tried a winch system, which didn't work. They've got like the production values of this one are so high for such something that hits so quickly. It kind of surprised me. Like I thought that there was going to be more. Maybe they did film another couple takes or something like that. But I did appreciate it. And sometimes I'm a fan of when they do this big elaborate setup and the payoff is something very small like this. But I don't know that they had enough of a splash I mean, clearly they didn't, otherwise it would have made the main movie, but it was fun to watch. But I'm happy that this was a sidebar and not part of the main thing.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It makes sense that it's in 4.5 and not the film, but it was fun to watch. I did like that they even had Jasper at bat, and afterwards Tremaine says, way to watch it. Like, he didn't do anything. And I mean, I was thinking of the logistics of this thing. Like, he couldn't swing at him because it would crack his skull open. So I guess he had
that would have been amazing.
He had to just step aside. You could have killed the guy. Yes, because... well, I mean, I don't know about you, but I like Jackass. I want to see him live another day. That's all I'm saying.
I would prefer he lives, Jay. I mean, call me controversial. I'd prefer Jackass lives.
But I agree with you. You just said that it would have been awesome to see him get his skull cracked open with a baseball bat. Did you not?
I don't think that could kill him, though. I think I think that would put him out for a couple minutes, maybe. I think otherwise he'd be fine.
Homer Simpson, Mike Tyson situation.
I have to interject here for a second.
Okay.
As if I haven't been abrasive enough. I'm not letting you get away with that, Mikey.
Oh, fuck off.
Why?
Because the only reason why I caused a commotion is because my water was on the ground because you complained about it being on the table, making a tiny little clink. So I tried to put it aside.
Wait a second.
This is all your fault. And you're trying to put this shit on me. It's fucking bullshit. I just
talked about potentially a member of Jackass getting killed during a stunt. And you're like, I'm not letting you get away with that. And you're still on the water from 3 minutes ago. What is happening?
To be fair,
I'm just trying to. It's Mikey's world, and I'm just living in it. And when something happens based on his own fucking issues, I have to be the one to fucking get the abuse online. This is bullshit.
Is the second time.
You gotta attack Mikey. This is bullshit.
Chris, they do enough. I see it. I see it all the time. For some reason, I'm the bad guy for caring about the quality of the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the second time you've spilled water. This is the second time.
And what happened for both times? What did I say both times?
That it's my fault.
Because you wouldn't let me keep it on my table.
Spill my water once, shame on me. Spill my water twice, again, shame on you, me.
All right. You know what? Let's see what the fans bugs them more. Having clinks on the table. Or having water spilled and getting you threw up the whole podcast. You fucked the whole podcast up.
You came back to talk shit about the water.
No, I'm just protecting myself as a human being. I have rights too. Blonde hair have rights. All right. Rights.
How did the cleanup go, Chris? Did you get it all taken care of?
Of course.
Okay, good. Because it was.
And I do want to say one thing about the sketch.
Okay.
A+ for creativity.
Yeah, fair.
This was a very, very good, thought out, hilarious concept. Mm-hmm. Did it land as much as it could have?
Oh my God, we said all of this already.
Well, if Mikey didn't make me keep my drink on the ground, then I would have been listening, and then we wouldn't be going through this. So you know what? You guys fucking go do whatever you want to do.
All right. I think we should get back to the podcast. You know, Mikey, sorry, there's something burning something on your mind. What's up?
No, here's one thing.
Do I have permission to click mute, Mikey, so I can hit my hookah?
Yes, you can click mute. But I'm gonna say something, and you may want to reply, you may not. It's fine. Or just go spill your water again. I really appreciate the fact that they filled the outfield with other members of Jackass dressed in jerseys, even though it meant nothing to the stunt. Because we know for a fact or at least we're pretty sure that Jackass isn't getting hit with the bat and sent flying into the outfield. And if he does, none of them were going to be able to catch him anyway. That would be a death sentence. But the fact that they're out there like, here, bada bada, like that was really funny to me. I like those added elements. It reminds me of Chris when you pointed out in Silence of the Lambs when Pontius is there dancing in the dark, and that's clearly just for us.
The real question
Finally,
is,
something I could agree with what you said,
okay,
Mikey.
okay.
Finally.
Hey, fuck, you guys are agreeing? That's a step forward. We've made progress here today. The real fucking question is, though, was it this or the CKY baseball diamond drama? What was better? Really, that's what everyone's wondering.
What a weird sketch that was. Hey, if you're out there listening and you haven't heard our CKY 2K episode, there's a sketch that revolves around a baseball diamond that is the most absurd art ? That I've ever seen. You should definitely go back and get our thoughts on that.
It's so absurd and weird. We're talking about a sketch where you paint a big guy and have this mockumentary of him floating through the sky with a spitball, and that is not the weird sketch. The other one is the weird sketch.
That's true. That's a good point. It's weird as fuck.
Yeah, you know what else is a weird as fuck thing to see right after this? It's a hard cut to three dudes upside down doing headstands. Just three boys and a horse riding up behind them. It took me a second to figure out, like, okay, what the fuck is this? Then you see the horse, and they got the horse, you know, the fucking whip. They spank him on the ass to get him to go. This is just brilliant. The horse is going to jump over the guys. Like, you know, you've seen this equestrian bullshit. You know, they jump over ramps. They do the fucking fancy sidewalk thing, the trot. They're going to jump over the guys like they're a fucking ramp. But mid-air, the rider, she fucking whips Dave right in the tip of the dick. I'm fucking blown away. Her aim is astounding. Like, I don't know how you've practiced for something like this, but she nailed it. And what I can only assume was the first take, but who knows, really. Beautiful.
It's amazing. It had to have been the first take because of how surprised Dave was. He wasn't expecting it at all. But here's honestly, I know Chris said this about Miss Molly Parker or whatever the fuck her name was from Missy Parkin, sorry, from the bowling one.
Oh, so you'd fuck the horse lady is what
I would 100% do this. I would 100% do this stunt. I would hope that I would take the left hand side right where Dave was, and I would do it again and again. I'd finish this stunt. And I'd stand up and I'd say to Jeff, "Hey Jeff, I don't think we got it. We got to go again." And Jeff would be like, "This is the one time I don't think we need to do it." Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Dave's reaction too. You want to talk about that? It's pretty funny.
He literally says "fuck you" to the person.
It's not like a "fuck you" as in, "Oh, I just got hit in the dick." Like "fuck you, universe." It's like, no, directed at her. Like he looks her in the eye and says "fuck you."
That happens sometimes in Jackass stunts where like they have a bad reaction to the person who was just told to do what they're supposed to do, and I always wonder how they manage that, like how they deal with that. Yeah. Do they go home and feel like their partner comes, like, "How was your day?" It's like, well, it's a bit different than usual. I'm used to jumping horses over planks. Today, you're not going to believe this. There were 3 grown-ass men upside down, and I had to hit one in the nuts. And he didn't take too kindly to it. Really, dear? What did he? He told me to fuck off, dear.
Hey, fuck you.
Hey, fuck you, lady. Yeah, and he said that happens to you like twice a week now. You need to find a new line of work, and she does. Do you think she was a dominatrix riding a horse or a horse rider who also could be a dominatrix?
Ooh. Well, if it was the first one you said, then I'm definitely into this as much as you are right now.
Yes, exactly.
Is there an option where the horse is the dominatrix?
Oof. You got to pay more for that option, but yeah, it's on the menu. It's on the secret menu. It's like a Carl's Jr.
It was the same horse.
You got to order it animal
that fed semen to Chris Pontius in the first one.
Yes.
Like, you're gonna fucking like
little
it.
Cameo.
You're fucking drinking this fucking guzzle.
It saw Chris take it. And it awoken something in the horse. And he's like, I need to find a new line of work. And here we are 10 years later. We got it.
Wow. Yeah. Success story right there, guys. And hey, to do damage control for my good friend, Dave England. We all love Dave England here. He does apologize to the nice horse lady, the nice dominatrix lady afterwards. You could tell it was a spur of the moment thing. He didn't even mean to say it. It just came
spur of the moment. Well done.
You bet.
I know we're going to move on pretty quick from this one because there isn't a ton that happens after it. But if you have access to go and watch this stunt again, look at SteveO and how close he came to losing his foot. When the horse jumps over him, it knocks him down, and the horse's back leg lands, looks like 6 inches from his ankle, and it would have crushed. His ankle was like toe to the ground, heel up. It would have crushed him from the toe down. Like, he would have lost his foot, guaranteed. It would have been. I cringed when I saw it, and I didn't
even notice that.
Yeah, it was gross. It would have been so disgusting.
Yeah, who was on the far right? They didn't fucking really have much to worry about this whole stunt. Really, they were the lucky one. I didn't catch.
Yeah, it was SteveO. No, it was Jasper. It was Jasper, actually.
Wow.
No, I know, but
you guys, you might as well
it's funny that it was Jasper.
Hey, don't ruin this fucking segue. I want to get away from this as fast as possible. You guys might as well be blindfolded. Because,
hey, well done.
For the record, Jay is the only one on this podcast who does not see color. Color does not concern me. People. Simple.
Apparently didn't know one in the sketch either, because they were in the middle of a race trap.
Ooh, it was a race trap.
Poopies called it. He's like, man, this is a pretty easy race trap. He didn't say track.
Racetrack.
I think he thinks a racetrack is called a racetrack.
Race trap.
And little did he know he was right.
He was actually
it was definitely a trap.
Oh, dude, and it's such a beautiful setup. Like, here, what did you think was going to happen though? Like, I mean, the fact that they told him, "Oh, just run to the end blindfolded," like there's nothing entertaining about that. The fact that he's surprised, as he talks about in the interview segment here, that they added in obstacles after they blindfolded him. I mean, I get it. It's Poopies. Okay, yeah, I know why it went over his head, but it seems like he should have been able to at least catch on to this one in some respect, but no, he didn't see it coming. I love the objects they bring into place. They got anything you can think of. There's a nice little moment where Poopies is just booking it, and he trips over a sawhorse and lands in the shed. They have like a full fucking garden shed in there. Thought that was brilliant. But yeah, the bales are great here. Lots of stuff happening. There's a couple guys getting in on it, kind of Silence of the Lambs style, throwing stuff. I know Mikey's fucking dying to comment on the basketball hoop, so go ahead, Mikey. Comment on the basketball hoop at this point.
No, it's not just the basketball hoop. It's absolutely fucking everything.
All right.
I just the idea of this one and the fact that everybody in this one, I think you're right, Jay. Everyone knew what was going to go on in this, except for Poopies, and the fact that he just fucking goes for it like bolts is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. He has a moment in this because he's clearly the winner, and I don't think you could have done as well as Poopies did if you did expect it, because you'd be so reserved. You'd be like, I don't know, I don't want to go for it. But he trips and falls and hits his head $1 Million Baby style on a bench. And he legit has a 3-second concussion again, like he did in the fan parachute one. Man. The fucking windows shutting down sound plays. And he's gone 3 seconds up, and he immediately knows his line. He's got to run again past the end of it. He's such a fucking trooper.
What he said is the best part, is because the reality of it is he was too stupid to figure out that this was what it was. Everybody else knew it. But the best part is he didn't know clearly, ran full steam. He had to have realized it was fucked up once he smashed that, and still got up and kept fucking going full steam. Like the commitment level is unparalleled. Like he deserved this W. Even Knoxville says he won it by like fucking 2 minutes or however much time he said.
Listen,
like
guys.
he just did it. It's amazing.
He's unbelievable.
This is fucking track and field day at Jack Johnson Elementary, and there's a $10 Dairy Queen gift certificate on the line, and Poopies will not be let down. Poopies will not lose. He's the kid who has to be at the front of the pack. He's got more enthusiasm for this fucking event than anyone else there. It's just like, I love the childlike innocence of this guy. You can see it on his face even when he's blindfolded. He has to prove himself by any means necessary. 100%. And he really gives it his all here. I was impressed.
I don't think he knows another gear. And the funniest part about this, I think the hardest I laughed in Jackass 4.5 is when they're interviewing him. And this may speak, Chris, to what you were saying, where when he falls into something and then just continues to run. I don't know that he I don't know that he knew even after hitting the first thing that there was anything wrong with the course, because when he's being interviewed, he even says, he's like, yeah, we just went and I hit something. And then he looks at the course and he's like, well, all that shit wasn't there when we were running. And they're like, what the fuck? He's just like, there's two ways to read that. Either he's stating the obvious and saying like, well, I mean, it wasn't there when we were blindfolded and then when we started and then we got blindfolded and they put it there. Or he just looked back and thought that after he ran the race, debris just went onto the field.
Oh God, I hope that's what he thought. Like, I hope that's the fucking answer. But
because he looks back at the track and he's surprised.
Yeah. He's the most innocent fucking way he said it. I don't think that was there when we started the race.
He's my favorite human being in the world. He's my favorite human being in the world.
Is there ever been someone that should be in Jackass more than Poopies?
No, he's the best.
Including the original cast.
Yeah.
He's the best. He's born for it.
The best writers ever wrote a show and then finally found the perfect person to cast it.
100%.
He is just...
Yeah. Poopies.
He was born for it.
He's like what your parents used to call the Jackass guys, like they're complete idiots. Like that's what they thought the Jackass guys were like. They probably pictured this guy. Like he's the fucking archetype for this whole thing. He's
100%.
And I'm glad he's on board and I want to see more of him. And
Jay, you're the archetype for someone who doesn't know how to say the word archetype.
Yeah, sorry. Fucking Oxford.
Easy there, Poopies.
Scholar.
I mean, Jay.
What's the big fucking hoity-toity university in Toronto wherever fucking Jordan Peterson got fucking kicked out of? That's where you went.
I think it's called University of Toronto, Jay.
That sounds pretty dumb. They come up with a better name than that. Come on.
Actually,
right across the street from my restaurant, Pig Out Barbecue, 650 Spadina. Check it out.
Hey, if you're listening from Toronto, that's true. Yeah. We should say that. If you're in Toronto and you're listening, Harvard and Spadina, Pig Out Barbecue. If you ever want to meet Chris in the flesh, which God knows why you'd want to do it, he'll probably spill a water all over you or something like that. Blind you with his new haircut. Go see him. Go say hi.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Or if you just want to be cool with me and say what up.
You know, listeners,
listeners,
beware though. There is no mute button for Chris when you meet him in person. So
you got to just deal with him.
Just be prepared. All right. That's that sketch. I'm glad we got to see it though. Again, this is one that I think belongs in 4.5, but I'm glad it's here and I'm glad we got it in its entirety. It was pretty fun. You could tell they did some jump cuts and things, to kind of make it more cohesive if you're paying attention to like the placement of things. I thought Mikey was going to go fucking full ham on that, but he didn't. So I'm impressed with you, Mikey. You don't have to say anything. It's fine.
I actually do know what you're talking about.
Your honor intact. You can
couple filming. I know Preston at one point throws the basketball net as well. I do actually, before we move on, I do think that there is a mainline sketch or stunt somewhere in this. I think they could have made this one a stunt that's good enough to be in the main movie.
Yeah.
It's not quite there with this one, but I think this was maybe my favorite thing from 4.5.
Totally.
Well, I think the next little interstitial is something that should have been in the movie.
Before we get to that, though, guys, did anybody mention or notice that Poopies didn't actually cross the finish line? He went under the tape and just kept running. I don't think he knew he crossed the fucking finish.
He didn't know he was done. He didn't know he was done. That was amazing.
Anyway, sorry, Chris. Next interstitial. You wanna tee this one up?
It's beauty. It should have been in the movie. Again, it's a short little clip. It doesn't need to be much. But when you have the hand to ankles, rolling down the hill, buck naked, penis is flapping. What's more Jackass than that?
Yeah, slow-mo, too.
It was beautiful. It was honestly beautiful. I don't care what anybody says. It was absolutely beautiful.
It was the patented Mikey, this is art. It is art. I mean, you could, if you had a painting of the, or if you had this video playing in the Louvre, people would believe that it was art. They would be like, these fools just don't understand. They would defend it. And now that it's just in a Jackass movie, they're like, no, I don't get it. But this is art.
The fucking Louvre. I bet they got all sorts of fucking archetypes going on in there. If you know what I mean. Sounds like a bunch
after watching that, I wanted to Louvre up my dick and fucking have a snap.
I'll join you in that.
You know what's funny about this one is we've spent so much time listening to Poopies talk about how small his dick was that I rewound this 4 times, staring intently, like really trying to get a good view of his dick. And I realized, I was watching it late at night on a Saturday alone on my couch and just realizing how absurd of a moment that is. I've just rewound five naked dudes just rolling down a hill in some capacity in slow motion. I really felt in touch with myself, actually. I was much more comfortable with that scenario.
That's called art.
Yeah, it's called art.
You don't just look at a picture one time. You go back, you take a second, look at third, look at fourth, look for the deeper meaning inside.
Do you guys think that they were happy that Rachel wasn't on set filming this?
No. Well, it depends who you are. Poopies, yes.
True.
If Pontius was in it or whoever else had a big schlong, they might have been hoping that she got a glimpse, you know?
Yeah.
Quick glimpse. Gotta get a quick glimpse. The only thing left to do with this piece of art is to play it in reverse and see if you can hear Satan speaking to you through the Also, dicks flapping in reverse is probably just as mesmerizing. So I don't know.
I'm gonna have to do that.
I think we'll definitely have to do that.
All right, I like
we should have an episode dedicated to breaking down frame by frame what that looks like.
Yeah, why don't we put a YouTube clip on it or an Instagram clip and see if they don't take that one down? Cunts.
It's not gonna last.
Chris, just right to the jugular with that one. I love it.
Dude, Pontius, it happened to Pontius too. He posted a birthday message to SteveO. They took it down.
What?
You know what? Fuck them. It's bullshit. They said it's overly sexualized. What the fuck is Instagram about? Do you scroll through not to look at anything other than hot chicks? Like, come on.
There's
and wieners, depending on who you are.
It's only because he's famous too that got taken down. If any just regular, old dude with no followers did that, they wouldn't fucking care.
No, they took ours down.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
we posted an ad that was doing really well based on the penis ping pong thing. Everything censored out and all that. It got taken down. So, oh well.
Too bad. Hey, we got one more to go, guys. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready. I was born ready.
I
was born ready after someone tried to use SteveO's condoms when they weren't ready for children, and they probably broke on them.
Yes, Knoxville does say somewhere in the segment that shortly after this sketch, he stopped selling these patented SteveO branded condoms. They're called the Dick Helmet. If you have one, it's a collector's item now. Don't use it unless you want a child. Try to resell it on eBay, whatever you can do. Listen, he got the idea from this condom drop thing, which is basically, I haven't seen this before, this clip. Honestly, I didn't know this was a thing, but they fill a condom with water and I guess they drop it, straight down into someone's head, and it, if done correctly, it should, land right on their head and kind of envelop their whole fucking dome. I don't know. Anyway, so he wants to fill up, this is the thing. SteveO talks about this like this is this brilliant idea, oh, guys, wait for this. This is going to blow you away.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for something big, but all he's doing here is filling up the condoms with sewage from his RV tank, which he's been saving up for a fucking month, which is just disgusting to think about. But yeah, it's basically just filling them up. And I'm kind of wondering the whole time I'm watching this, what is the aim here? I know by the end of it, we get a better picture of what he was shooting for, but it just feels kind of disjointed. I got to say, though, when the juice flows into the condom and we see that start to fill up, multiple dudes on set are just gagging immediately. I can only imagine, I don't know if it's the sight or the smell or the whole cocktail there, but yeah, this looks pretty nasty.
This was one, I've usually got a pretty good stomach for this sort of thing. This was one that had me feeling queasy, not gonna lie. It was gross to see him open that up and it's getting everywhere and it's just been sitting stagnant in there. If you walk into an outhouse and you smell that, the difference is that's probably been there for a day, maybe. Those get cleaned pretty regularly. This has been there for weeks in the bottom. I don't know if there's anything to treat it for the smell or anything. It was just fucking disgusting. It was so gross.
Yeah.
We talk about these condoms being bad, but I don't know who in the world's load is that much pressure. So realistically, I think you're fine with the condoms. I'm not fucking pumping out a fucking 12 gauge fucking shoot poop. Whatever. I made a good point until I tried to talk.
I mean, maybe, but you've seen that some condoms can handle it. And if I'm trying to prevent a child from coming into my life, I'm going overboard. I want to see you're watching those car commercials and they're they show an accident and crash test and the airbags come out from every orifice of the car, even though you just get a fender bend. Do that for me. I want to be so certain that I'm not having a kid.
So you want a condom?
You don't need condoms for that. You just need to pull out. It's simple. I've been doing it for fucking 30 years.
Uh-huh.
You pull out. I don't have any kids that I know about. It's fine. Either that or I don't really have swimmers. But anyways, you don't really need condoms. They're stupid. They're a waste of time. They don't feel good. The guys don't like them. The girls don't like them. Like, it's stupid. No one wear condoms.
Yeah, and Chris, I know we're getting late, so we're gonna have to wrap this up soon. You've got, you're volunteering down at the teenage pregnancy center.
Yes,
I took over for Mikey's shift. They wanted someone more responsible.
I like that you're practicing your speech on the air, though. That's very nice. Don't use condoms, kids. Or if you're going to, like, double mask it, like it's COVID season, and you'll be all right. Listen, the aim here, though, at the end of it, we get to see what SteveO was kind of fucking getting at, and they're going to start throwing the tied-up condoms with the juice in there just at each other, like onto SteveO's head. He's going to sit there, and they're going to... I don't know if they're just trying to get, like a bounce, trying to prove that, hey, these are so tough they won't break, but, like... I don't know. It just feels not very well thought out. It feels like he just really wanted to advertise more than do a good sketch to me.
Definitely some of that. But the weirdest thing about this one is this is so blatantly like he saw this was like a trend online. The condom drop. You drop it on someone's head and it like engulfs their whole head.
Yeah, but are they doing it right? Because it feels like you gotta they're tying him up and throwing him at SteveO. That's not how it works, is it?
Yeah. You drop it on the head and then it makes like a mask over them.
Okay.
The clip that they showed in the beginning was actually from the Dudesons, who for a while were labeled as like the Finnish Jackass crew.
Gotcha.
They had their own TV show. It was pretty good. It was different. It was weird, but it was good. There were some crossovers with Viva La Bam and all that stuff. But
hey, listeners, if you want to see us cover the Dudesons, that's kind of along the same vein. That might be something that we want to hear about. So
let us know. No, that's a good point. I mean, once we finish 4.5, we got a limited amount of Jackass left, so we'll go to some of the other series. But it's weird that they just took this internet premise and were so gung ho on doing it. That was lame to me. But what I ended up kind of enjoying about this segment wasn't the condom drop itself. It was that the segment became about how shitty SteveO's condoms were and how much he just wanted to prove a point, as though like you do 100 of them and finally you get one to work and you're like, see, I told you my condoms were okay. It's like, no, condoms probability should be the opposite of that. It should be
literally 99%
1, exactly.
Not 1%.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So the whole time I'm like, oh
point.
man, and they're just giving it to him. And by the end of it, if you notice, like the first time the condom breaks, he's grossed out by the sewage, and then he's so keen on getting this to work, he doesn't even flinch when his tour bus sewage gets all over his body. He just doesn't even give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the one thing about SteveO, right? Like, he's good with gross shit. Like, he doesn't squirm, he doesn't flinch. And I gotta say, like, I want to clear the air too here. I don't have a problem with SteveO. I think, like, the last few or handful, SteveO stunts, I've maybe said a thing here or there about not being as impressed, but like, I fucking love SteveO. SteveO's done some of the greatest shit in the history of Jackass, like the fucking poo cocktail supreme, even just back to the simple stuff like the goldfish trick had me just a fan of him immediately. Like, he's done a lot. I love SteveO. I don't know if you guys agree, but I feel like SteveO's kind of toned it down a little bit, and understandably so. He's older now. He's clean now. He's not doing drugs and shit, so maybe he's not as crazy as he used to be. I get it. But do you feel that way, that maybe he's holding back a little bit from time to time, or maybe he's just, I don't want to say he's lost it. I don't think so. I still love SteveO, but just something feels off. I don't know what it is.
I think here's the thing. What we used to love about SteveO was he was so seat of his pants. He was just, okay, I'm going to go do it and not think about it. He's a lot more calculated right now. And I don't think that that's a detriment necessarily, but it's definitely a change of pace for him. If he's going to do a stunt, he's going to think it out and he's going to try to find a way to do some merchandising behind it, and good on him. This didn't make the movie and for a variety of reasons. They gave him his one skateboard scene in the movie when he's doing the quiet game and they show his deck. But every time we make fun of him, like, yo, lay off the marketing and the merchandising and everything, it didn't really hurt anyone because it ended up in 4.5 and not the actual movie. So he's definitely has a different vibe, but I don't think it's any more different than any of the other Jackass members are from 10 years ago till now.
Yeah, I think it's the evolution of him. You know what I mean? Like, he's grown up. He's become more mature. It's clear that most of these guys, and I'm going off a post that Bam actually put out talking about how basically none of these guys are making really good money. And SteveO's like, you know what? I put in this work and I want to earn something. And that's more than respectable. He's a very sound businessman these days, and he's still doing a bunch of shit. But he's already paid his dues.
Yeah.
It's like if you're like the Dark Shark, the OG of the gang, you're not out there fucking popping people anymore. You know what I mean? You're handling things behind the scenes.
change.
You're trying to be you're more valuable, pushing the bigger picture of things. You're not a street soldier. They got the new guys for that. That's a reason why they got these new guys in the movies. And I think there's zero reason to slight SteveO for growing up and becoming a bigger, better person, in my opinion.
No, that's fair. Yeah, and him, like I said, him getting clean, that's like the best thing that's happened. I'm like happy for the guy. I'm not shitting on him at all by any means. I think like...
No, you asked the question.
I think you get...
And it's a fair question to ask.
I think you get the nostalgia of what you're used to and what you used to see. Like that creates some shit in your head that it's always going to be like that. And then when it's not, you... Like, it's just like a natural response. You're kind of like, oh, well... You know, what about the way things were? But shit's got to change. You guys are right. And like, yeah, I give him a lot of shit for plugging his stuff and advertising, but who isn't fucking doing that everywhere nowadays? I mean, like fucking anybody who's an influencer is doing that. So like, I get it. I totally get it. The one thing I will say though, is you guys say everybody's changed a little bit. I look at Knoxville and he to me is like fucking carbonite. He's like still the Knoxville I remember. He to me has changed the least over time. He's still...
True.
You know what I mean? Like, other than his hair changing, he's still fucking Knoxville through and through.
And there's nothing wrong with your hair changing. Let me just get that on the record.
And on that note, I think we'll cut it off there. Put a fucking pin in it for now. Anyway, we're gonna come back for one more part to wrap this motherfucker up. It's been a lot longer than I think any of us anticipated it would be, but a good place as any to stop. So before we finalize here, let's do our fucking MVP, LVP as we do. Mikey, you want to kick this one off?
I'd love to. MVP, I'll say it time and time again when he deserves it, and I'd love it when he deserves it because him at his best is is when I think Jackass nowadays is at its best, and it's Poopies. It's fucking Poopies. He gave it his all in the blind race. He showed him. And then he knocked his fucking teeth out. There's an inclination to look at Ehren for more of the cup test or something like that. But no, Poopies with the charisma and the commitment to stunts that brought him pain. Man, that's a very well-rounded showing.
I can't say anything other than Poopies. That was 100% my pick. You show me, or I show me. Everything about him is just how he runs through that track. This was maybe some of the best stuff we've seen from him.
It's amazing.
I gotta go with Ehren here because, like I said at the top of the show, learning what I learned about him, thanks Chris. It's that impressed me, man. The fact that he wrote the whole thing, the pogo stick, all the abuse to his balls, and then we got to see the bowling ball test. I mean, man, for me, Ehren really stood out on this one, and I take it back. I was totally wrong. Like, and I'll admit that. Yeah, I'm sure he did get bullied sometimes on set, but like, I think I was probably blowing it up in my own head. Like, oh, this guy always gets the shit end of the stick. But I don't know. There's just something like he realized that, the guys are going to fuck with me. Well, fuck them. I'll show them. I'll volunteer. I'll step up. You want to fucking, bully me?
I'll show me.
And he fucking did. So, this one goes to Danger Ehren for this part.
That's a good one. I like it. I'm glad someone showed him the love because, again, yes, we've already given him his love for the cup test, but this is an addition to it that no one saw coming. So good on him. My LVP, my least valuable player, is going to be this one's an easy one, but it pains me to say because I don't know if this guy has ever gotten an LVP nod before. I don't think he ever has. It's Dave England, because how dare you talk down to horse lady who so generously tapped you in the nuts while jumping over you with a horse. You take that and you thank her for it. That's what you do, Dave. You keep her name out of your goddamn mouth.
Yeah.
Well, my LVP is similar to yours in the sense it's someone that I would basically never give it to this person, but SteveO for taking your condoms off the market. That's all I need to say.
Well, guys, I would say the real LVP is sushi chefs around the world. If you know how serious Japanese sushi chefs take the craft of making sushi, hey guys, I'll pour one out for you on this one.
Pour out some sake for you.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah, Jiro's really mad right now.
Jiro has nightmares of sushi after this one.
Yeah.
And there you have it. And hey, we'll give you nightmares too. That's what we're here for after all. So keep listening. We've got one more episode to go, 4.5. And if you want to, say hi, come check us out. Make fun of Chris's hair, whatever you got to do, at Jackast Pod on Instagram and Twitter. And we're just hanging out there. Hopefully we can get some reverse naked dudes rolling down a field in slow-mo. If we don't get that taken down, maybe we'll give that a shot. I don't know. We love hearing your feedback though. That's seriously, like things have been picking up for us since we, hit the release of Jackass Forever. We've got a lot of new listeners on board, and we just want to say thanks for sticking with us. And for those who've stuck with us from the beginning as well, like you guys are the fucking best. We love you. Keep on bringing in the good stuff. We love hearing from you. So
awesome.
That's it. I think that's it. We can go home now. Fucking A.
Let's do it. I was recording from home, so I'm going to stay here.
Yeah, I wish I had a clever remark. Like I could say recording from the inside of SteveO's septic tank, but that seems too easy for me being, my backstory. So especially if you've been with us since day one. Hey, there you go.
That's fair.
You really know my fucking backstory. All right, guys, I'm gonna send it off. We'll see you next week. Until then, bye. I'm Jason Wellwood.
Bye, I'm Slim Shady.
Hi, I'm Mikey Ehrenworth, and this has been Jackass.
Get this fucking guy out of here.
Furnished by Sad Styles Productions.
Get into it.